Hello, John Bloodworth, Gentleman Crafter here again with another card layout. This time we are up to number 30 and there is hope for everyone. According to this card anyway. Now this one didn't end up the way I'd planned, so do keep watching as I work my way through it. I'm going to be using this layout that you saw me take out of the storage binder there. And I've got various different bits here that I may or may not be using. I've got some embossing powders, some stamps. I've already sectioned off where I'm going to put the sentiment on this piece of white card. I'm using this piece of patterned paper, some gold pearlescent card, some dark purple and some light purple. And the paper was from the Free Spirit paper pad by First Edition, in case you're wondering. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to chop this piece of paper down and score it to make the actual card. So I'm working on a 6x4 card, so with a 6x8 piece of paper I can make a 6x4 card. Make sense? There we go. Nice, quick and simple, and it's got the pattern on the inside too. You could always put an insert in there if you didn't like the pattern paper look. I haven't, but you can. So I'm just starting to chop down the layers, and as with all of these card layouts, you can visit my blog, gentlemancrafter.com, where you will find a printable version of this layout with all of the dimensions printed on it as well. I will leave a link in the description below the video on YouTube, and if you're already on the blog, you will most likely have found it already. Okay, so one thing that I did in advance was prepare this decoupaged gemstone. So I got a second sheet of the patterned paper and I coated it with gloss Mod Podge. But you can use other things as I'm showing you here. So maybe embossing powders or transparent dimensional glue, even glitter glue perhaps. Either way, it'll all work. Sorry for the wonky zooming and focusing. My camera seems to have trouble focusing on blank white pieces of paper. Okay, so I've just selected a couple of sentiment stamps there and I'm inking it up with a purple pigment ink. So a sticky ink. Water-based distress, probably not the best for this technique, but you might be able to get away with them if that's all you've got. I'm going on with the embossing powder, which is a dark navy blue from Simon Says Stamp in America, but it also has quite a nice luster to it when it's been embossed. Hopefully you can see that. I did waft it a bit too quick there. Anyway, to be fair, I'm actually not going to end up using these anyway, just as a bit of a spoiler for later in the video, but you'll see why in a while. So I've chopped down the panel that I'm going to use for the sentiment, and I'm just inking the edges with the same ink pad, by the way, and then I'm just blending that off with a sponge ink, not a sponge ink pad, a blending tool. That's the one I was looking for. Okay, so that's going to go in the middle of the short piece. And it's going to be aligned with the right hand side so it sticks off the edge to the left. I'm using the bookbinding glue throughout. A lot of you have been taking my recommendation and grabbing yourself some and finding that it is, as I say, the perfect glue for card making. And the reason being is it doesn't buckle your card or paper. You need very little, and it's a quick grab glue as well. So if you're looking for that pin flare bookbinding glue, I recommend the one in the bottle, but you can buy it in a tub and then obviously decant that into something else if you would like. Okay, so next up I'm starting to assemble a card, and I'm just going to use my gridded ruler to help me position that first strip so that it goes on fairly centrally from top to bottom and a 1/4 inch in from the edge, as set out in the layout. Next up, some of the gold pearlescent. It's one of my favourite cardstocks at the moment. It's from Paper Mill Direct. And it's a beautiful double-sided iridescent gold. I've actually started to wonder what it would look like embossed, so I might do that in one of the future layout videos. For the sentiment strip, I wanted to raise it up off the card, so I'm just using foam pads here. And that's going to get aligned to the opening edge of the card, so the right hand side. And then I'm going to stick my gemstone decoupage on the right. But you could play around with the positioning of this, use a different embellishment, use a different die cut, whatever you fancy. That's the point of these layouts. You can switch out the colours, switch out the patterns, and switch out the embellishments, and you'll still end up with a quality card. Now, you can see me here just jiggling these around to try and make them fit, try and make them work, and I'm not really getting anywhere. So, yep. Basically, this is the kind of, deliberation constipation that I got into about where to put them. I was thinking down the bottom, but then what to put on the sentiment strip. Maybe poking out from the gems. Kind of cool, but still a lot of blankness on the left of that sentiment strip. Maybe just here. Drumming the fingers, thinking and musing. So anyway, that was a quick edit. I ended up ripping off the sentiments, gemstone decoupage. And I've grabbed this stamp, which is from a visible image set, I believe. I can't remember which one, I'm sorry. And I've just stamped it on the edge of a strip of white cardstock. And this is going to replace the sentiment strip that I've already got. So I'm going to ink the edges as I did before. I'm not removing the previous one just because I think it'll end up ripping and completely damaging the card. So I'm actually just going to stick it on top. Hopefully the blended edges will mean it will blend in with the previous one too. Now I was deliberating whether to have that sort of sun ray bit on the left, but I ended up deciding to put it on the right so that it would be behind the gemstone decoupage and look like it's radiating out from that. Gives it a tiny bit more interest and intrigue. Can you have intrigue with card making? I'm not sure. So back with these sentiment bits. And yeah, they're not working. So kick them out, reach for a die, and die cut some cardstock. A little bit of hope that this will work out, maybe. There's a play on words. So choppy, choppy, choppy. Out with the sentiment. Blob of glue, bit too much, so I just spread that around with a cocktail stick. You can see how little you need of this glue to work even just a small sentiment. There we go, that looks much better. I hope you agree. Would you have done the same? Let me know in the comments on the video. And then to finish off, just a trio of gemstones either side of the sentiment panel. And there we have card layout number 30 finished. Phew, that was close. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you are enjoying this series. Bye for now. That's it for this time. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And for more from me in the future, please remember to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.